Hello, humans, hello. Today, we aren't going to be doing anything. And no Gooner wallpapers today either. Just chilling. Short stream, possibly even less than an hour. Let me check the Reddit. Damn, people want a Noxa rerun bad. No Goonie today? No. What's the agenda for today? There isn't really any agenda. I'm just chilling. There's no leaks or anything, unfortunately. What the fuck? Thank you, finality. I need March drip. It's in like a week, I think. Suri Drover agenda. I mean, like, it's like kicking a dead dog at this point, to be honest. I just don't have the energy to clown. Like everything that has been said has been said. People have realized that she loses value for like E2 plus Phanon. They realize she's just mid in general. If you have Tribby, you can just pull E1 and bam, it's better than Saridra. Like, ugh, she has a lot of flaws. Yeah, it's not even an agenda, is the thing. Something that's like an agenda was Phanon mains calling Phanon like the worst character in the entirety of the game in his beta. That's agenda. So that he could like power creep Cassie or whatever. Another agenda is what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Cassie had an agenda where people wanted her to power creep everyone, and they got it. Cassie's agenda actually did work for the people who liked her. She did get it, and then she became the strongest DPS in the game. Is Sunday more future proof than Tribby? I don't know. I can't look into the future and see what supports will release. If a better team buffer than Tribby comes out that's general, then Tribby will still have value, but it'll probably be the second teams. And then after that, it's like whether or not Sunday gets replaced by a newer hyper carry like General Action Avancer. It's pretty iffy. I often feel the need for two Sundays, yeah. At least we'll have two Tribbies soon if Cyrene works well. Are you riding a bike? No. I'm laying on my bed. We're talking about like sounds in the background. That's just outside. 'Cause I have my window open. I wish Irene came sooner than Saridra. Well, it's kind of like a Zhaoku situation a bit, right? It's kind of that. They go from releasing general support to releasing a niche one to then releasing general support. They kind of did this in version 2 if you consider Robin. Like you have Robin, 3 patches later you get Zhaoku, 3 patches later you get Sunday. For Tribby was 3.1, so it's like 4 patches later you get Saridra. Or actually, you could just consider, I guess, Cypher if you want to, but how did Flynn's get the most hype? I mean, he has like my favorite design out of all those characters. The thing is, a lot of like the Nod Cry designs and shit, it's like maybe this will help Genshin realize, but Genshin really, this isn't just a Genshin problem, by the way. They use very overused designs, right? Like almost bland designs. You know, the character itself may be unique, but like whatever's around them isn't all that unique, right? I think Flynn's is very unique in the Genshin verse. So people really like him. Like when I first saw Flynn's, I was like, wait, this guy's in Genshin? Like literally, if you look at every single other like, you know, Nod Cry character, like the only one you could say that is maybe like as unique as Flynn's is probably Durin. But like everybody else just looks like a normal anime like waifu or whatever. Or a normal like husbando. Like Varka literally just looks like Japard and Avin together. They'll sacrifice you for this, but hard to agree. Yeah, I can understand why people like those characters, but Flynn's is like unique. Like this is 100% a very unique design that I think a lot of people fuck with. Of course, you also have Columbina. I'm a huge Columbina fan. So like, I also love Columbina, but like she isn't a new design. We've known her design for quite a while at this point. Understandable, Blad. Yeah, same Radita. Well, yeah, Dark. She's probably gonna buff true damage. Like, probably. Cassie and March will probably be a Firefly and Rappa situation. Hibernating till Heislands now, alright. I mean, you don't need Cassie for March. Do you think making new March Ice DPS is a waste since we have third buff Jing Liu? No. Buff Jing Liu is still trash without wheelchair. Um, like, Herda's really the only other real Ice DPS. And I don't think we got a single Ice DPS in version 2, so... If we go by pattern recognition, wouldn't March be a cast side grade? Uh, what do you mean? Like the Rappa Firefly situation? I mean, March will probably be stronger than Cass with Cyrene is how I think it'll go. And Cassie won't be able to use Cyrene because of territory. Like, Rappa is weaker than Firefly if you don't have Fugue. But Rappa with Fugue is stronger than Firefly. It's going to be like one of those situations. You can use Bronya Lycone. And I do believe Sunday is still like SP positive if you play him right. But his Lycone makes a massively bigger difference. Like, there's a 3 ult cooldown on Bronya's Lycone is the problem. Isn't March the Fei Shao? You can use whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. But if you're comparing strictly in terms of DPS versus DPS, it's a Rappa Firefly situation with Cassie and March. That's how it works. I highly doubt they'll make March on par with Casterus. People said this about Fei Shao and her beta. And they were doom posting Fei Shao like, no way someone can be as good as Acheron. Like, there's no way. She's not even like a crazy main push. And then she ended up being stronger than Acheron. Like, it's just incredibly likely. You guys need to understand that not being a main push doesn't mean anything when you're like 5 patches ahead of like a Cassie. Or like 4 patches ahead. Like, fucking Anoxa shits on everyone in version 2. And he's just a scholar. Basically a side character. Even Boot Hill was really strong. Boot Hill was like Firefly level. And Firefly's a main push. Do we think March will replace Tribby or RMC? I don't know. It might not even be worth it. Can't wait for an Oxa rerun, same. I mean, she might not have as good of animations, but it doesn't matter. She'll just be stronger. I'm either going for Saber or Noxa. Saber really pisses me off. Like, I'm really pissed at what the devs did, and I understand it, but it's like, I am someone who has, like, zero problem going for E2s on characters. Like, that's quite obvious at this point. The more Saber gameplay I see, the more I like her, but it's like one, she gets in the way of, like, siren pulls and shit, but the other thing is, she doesn't get a good Eidolon jump till E6. It's like, why? Like, why is it that far away? Like, in no world am I getting an E6 Saber, bro. I'm trying to get Saber on my ult account. Hopefully she'll be okay without Sunday. Good luck. Well, yeah, it's the same for me, Taneri. But the reason I specifically do it for Saber is because Saber's banner is indefinite. Like, usually when it comes to E2ing a character in HSR, it's really risky because you literally only have like a 20 something day window to actually pull on their Eidolons before they're gone for half a year. But like these guys' banners are on for a long time. So like it's even worse. Like why the E6, bro? Why? I don't disagree, Alum. It's just annoying. Like they already have version 2 level Eidolons. It would have been nice if they just put that E6 in E2. Or just made the E2 better. Like the Eidolons are just so trash on Saber. Like they're actually so bad. Well, Luocha Auto SP would be nice. Look at them high 3. I want a well SP pretty badly. I'd 100% pull for it. I know that well SP would be like a side character release. I don't think he'd have high sales expectations at all. But like I just really like a well to SP man. He deserves it. He's literally the GOAT. E1 is so overhyped, man. I'm so tired of explaining it. E1 Archer is so overhyped. It's insane. Firefly getting buffed in first half of next year, yeah. Well, yeah, that's feels crafting though. Finality though, like that's feels crafting. Well, actually, I guess for E1 it isn't bad. I guess for an E1 specifically, like if you only compare E1 Archer to other character E1s, uh, I think Herda's is slightly better, and I know Eggy in My Days is better. Um, in pure fiction, Phenon's is 100% better. Anoxa's is worse. I guess for if we're only talking about E1s, sure, yeah, it's not bad. I'd say decent is actually a good way. I think the reason people like E1 Archer so much is because it can allow you to hit that five, or sorry, not. Basically, you can just do 3 shots, right? And you need 2 less skill points to accomplish the same thing. So it feels smoother. But in reality, you're literally saving yourself like not all that much. They like it because it allows you to skip Sparkle. I don't think it really allows. Like, Sparkle is still valuable nonetheless. Now, does Archer like have more value with Sunday at E1? Yes. And if you have to choose between E1 Archer and Sparkle for only his performance, you'd usually go E1 Archer if you have E0S1 Sunday. Like, that's usually how it goes. Like, people over exaggerate the difference between Sunday and Sparkle if Sunday has Light Cone very badly. Like, very, very badly do they, like, overestimate the difference. It really isn't all that big. They almost always clear within the same cycle, or at max, Sunday will be 1 cycle slower. At max. And I'm not talking about you, person. You'd get down. Yeah, I've seen the Reddit for Archer mains and shit. And, like, bro, they are on some, like, insane I guess it's understandable, right? Like, you finally get a best in slot team for a support that hasn't had one for, like, a year at this point. But genuinely, you can just get. If you have E0S1 Sunday, he's a perfect alternative. Like, he is actually really, really good. And this is why we like general supports, ladies and gentlemen. Even outside of teams they aren't supposed to be best in slot for, they're still incredible value as a second option. No, Sunday E1 doesn't buff both at the same time with the same value. If you have a summon on a character, the summon for that character will get 40% defense ignore, while Phanon will only get the 16. That's how it works. It's only Aglaia specifically that can bypass this because her and Garment Maker do a joint attack in her enhanced state. So it counts as like both of them at the same time. So they both get 40% defense shred for every attack. I'm thinking on who I'm gonna get next now that I've achieved the Nirvana of E6 Phanon. I mean, I thought you were someone who was like, weren't you guaranteed getting Saridra finality or something? Yeah, the Sunday Doom posting never made sense to me. He's the only character I went like really hard on for people to pull on, especially on rerun. Like, I've never gone harder for shilling a character and their like meta value in my life compared to how much I did for Sunday. March strip is in like a week, I think. People said that Fugue was better than Sunday. To be honest, I don't really remember that anymore. Maybe it did happen though. After her, it's like I'm done. I don't think Phenom will need any more investment for years. Low key Kiwi, why don't you just like? I mean, unless you like Saridra, but if you only care about Phenom's meta, why don't you just skip and then like over invest in a general support in version 4? Because his E6 allowing him to start with 6 stacks and do double ult basically accomplishes the same thing E1 Saridra does, which is like you can get rid of an action advancer and put in a general team buffer. Oh, Kiwi? I meant finality. My bad. Oh, he starts with 7? Oh, even better. Yeah. Because I asked Chewy this yesterday, because Chewy has an E6 Phanon, and I asked him, what's like the main value of the E6? Is it the meteors? And he's like, nah, it's actually the stacking, like the insta stacking. And this allows you to like throw in E1 Tribby, throw in like a team buffer without an issue, and your overall damage increase is like insane at E6. Phanon E6 over E2 Phanon plus E2 S1 Saridra. With the future in mind, yes. But for the short term, no. Like for short term, E2 Phanon plus E2 Saridra will be better. For long term, E6 Phanon will be better. Because eventually, like you cannot really get back the investment you put into Saridra. Obviously, it's E2, right? But the point is, Saridra will lose value over time for increasing Phanon's damage compared to other supports. But because Phanon's Eidolons are his and will always buff him an equal amount no matter what, and no one else can provide that, eventually his E6 with like a newer support in version 4 or something would probably be like more valuable than pulling Saridra. If that makes sense. Chewy mentioned. Hello, Chewy. I didn't know you were lurking. Also, I think the mechanic of E6 Phanon is criminally underrated for his weaker modes performances. Like, especially in AoE, cough cough pure fiction. Bro, like if you guys have seen the showcases of my E2 Phanon, I can do some, solid damage on like Argenti. It's usually the third boss. Don't look at the first side and the second side to see how much damage the meteor does to the boss. Look at the last side because they're like way more beefier. My meteor will do like 10% damage to Argenti or something, but because of the way the meteor mechanic works with E6, E6 Phanons chunk off like 30 to 40% off of the boss. Yeah. So it's just E1 Tribby all over again. Like on paper, usually Robin's res pen is like on the same level. Sometimes Robin's res pen can be better if there are no other sources of res pen on the team. But the mechanic behind like Tribby's E1 is what pulls it so much further ahead. Rappa got no sales. Even E1 Breeze's Pure Fiction? Yeah. The other day on stream, I did a first try auto because people were making fun of me because I sacrificed all my relics on all of my limited characters except for the ones on Phaenon's team in my day. So I didn't think it was possible, but I just cleared with Phaenon with 3 characters, and then I gave my day my team, and then after people were clowning Phaenon, and so I just got an auto 0 cycle. It would be even like crazier with his E4. That counter damage is really solid once you hit E4. I mean, it's already solid at E2, but I think counters make up 25% of his damage output in Pure Fiction. At E2 at least. E00 Phaenon is rough for Pure Fiction? Oh yeah, I've seen that. I have seen that. They really sold Phaenon's AoE performance in Eidolons. Getting it every single Eidolon is a increase to his AoE performance noticeably, except for E6. E6 is the only Eidolon that like directly focuses on making the meteors better. E1, massive base speed increases for full AoE scenarios. E2, extra turns allows more counter spam, and E4 adds more stacks to the counter's damage. Yeah, exactly, finality. You worded it in a pretty good way. Phaenon's Eidolons will never take a slot on the team. That's a good way of wording it. I mean, I don't think Saridra needs to be anywhere near E2 Phaenon's increase. E2, like E0 to E2 Phaenon is like it's like near 100%, I'm pretty sure, increase. And in AoE scenarios, it's over 100%, right? So, like, I don't think anyone's expecting that, but I do think, like, a Saridra 2 cost should probably be like a 50, no, I think 60% upgrade is safe for like this niche of a character. 2 cost. Because Hyacine increases Cassie's performance by like 90%. Like, we were already having talks about Cassie being like, Herda level before she got Hyacine. And then after this, she got Hyacine too, and her single target performance skyrocketed through the roof. Like, Cassie is one of the best single target damage dealers in the entirety of the game. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. And mainly AoE DPS is a single target god if you get Hyacine. I think my issue with Saridra is I want better buff uptime, even if it's at the cost of the buff being slightly weaker. So, she gets this crit damage buff and the respen buff for Phaenon on only the peerage skills. I want her to give half of the crit damage and half of the respen, or at least half the crit damage when what's it called? You're not in peerage. Like, this is a very big issue I have with her, is that a lot of like her big nuke buff is locked behind some dumbass peerage skill. F global passive, my morals have never been stronger. Hello, Kiwi. When do you think High Scene will rerun? 3.6 or 3.7? I think they'll rerun Cassie in 3.6, and I think they'll rerun High Scene in 3.7. Or they'll just do a triple rerun and slap both there, to be honest. Either one. I'm wishing we get a strong single target healer to give me an excuse to get My Day Z2. Yeah, My Day Z2 is actually the biggest scam of all fucking time. Like, oh my god, I hate thinking about it, bro. Why did I pull that? Oh my fucking goodness. I tried to play Future Rail with My Day Z2 because at the time we didn't have High Scene beta. Oh my fucking god, it went terribly, man. It did not go well. No, I've always realized it. I just thought Hyacine would fix it. I openly say, like, Hyacine has the least synergy with My Day compared to every other HP scaler. She gives those bullshit stacks to Jing Liu so she can have infinite skill up time. Her light cone is massive for Blade because it's one stack towards his follow up. And then she's just literally made with Cassie in mind because of the AoE healing. And then My Day just gets fucked. Like, he wants pure single target healing. Vertical investment on My Day. My Day has good vertical investment. It's just the E2 that's ass. The E1 makes him perfectly usable in the likes of Pure Fiction and other shit, and any AoE scenarios like True Sting. His E4, if I remember correctly, has like an HP increase and crit damage increase. And then the E6 is fucking like insane. Like, My Day's E6 is pretty busted, but it's just the E2 that's so underwhelming. It's only 15% defense shred and converting healing into Godslayer charge. My Day's the worst 3.x DPS. I mean, yeah, I don't disagree. I don't. I think every single 3.x DPS in their best in slot team will usually perform better than My Day. Oh yeah, that would also fix it. Like, making it a 40% conversion is the only reason why it's so garbage in the first place. Like, no one, they put cap of 40 charge, yet no one in this game can make him get that. Like, literally no one. You have to be in like Divergent Universe to actually get a 40 cap on charge. I mean, the thing is, he might not even get his full potential, Solus. Like, my day could very easily just be another Blade situation. They're gonna move into version 4 with Elation and all that shit. The rest of version 3, we know we're not getting another, like, single target healing sustain, right? It's very likely that my day is a Blade situation. And he doesn't get a best in slot support for like another year to come. Because they're 100% going to be focusing on Yai Sakura and Hanabi in probably the earlier versions of version 4. I pray every day Cyrene doesn't have a territory. I don't give a shit about her high 3 thing. I'm literally just praying every day she doesn't have a territory so I can justify not having pulled Saridra. Like, you guys have no understand how fat the W would be if this woman did not have a territory and I could just throw her ass in a Phanon team with true damage. Please happen. Please. I hope she has a territory. Oh my goodness. Kiwi with the anti-castress agenda in the chat. He does not want, or he does want her to have a territory. Now imagine if Saridra wasn't locked to attack scaling DPSs and it was worth it to double Godslayer. Bro, Chewy. Oh, don't remind me, man. That first few days of when Saridra came out, I was wondering if it was possible with my day. And I thought, no, it is possible. It hurts so much more knowing that double Godslayer is actually possible, but it's so ass because she's an attack buffer. Plot twist, she has a territory that works with other territories, because so true. For the longest, I thought it was impossible because of my day's auto. I mean, you could probably time it like in a certain way with a team rotation, but it's just probably never going to be consistent, is a thing. Can't really be consistent with it. Unless you're like E6 my days would actually go crazy with Saridra if she like was an HP scaling support. Like, let's say probably what's going to be Cyrene or Tribby. Because the amount of Godslayers in E6 my day gets off is like 5 or 6 in a single cycle. Like, it's absolutely disgusting. Sampo follows Elation and lore literally a mass full. Yeah, Sampo will probably be in version 4. Version 4 I'm actually pretty hyped for. It's that O-Star. Ampho is nice. Ampho is 100% my favorite planet in the game, just design-wise. But I think Edo-Star can maybe top it for me. You sound energetic today? Don't I always sound energetic? Recency bias? No. This is something I've been saying since, like, I don't like Ampho's start of the story, but design-wise, Ampho is my favorite planet in the game. It doesn't, like, no other planet compares. Will you pull Rekka if he's a super break DPS? Fuck no. Support if it's for my day, sure. I will never pull for niche archetypes unless I'm completely in love with the character. Even Phanon was already a stretch for me, and Phanon, like, he can at least benefit from general support power creep in this game. So he can keep getting new supports. But, like, break, dot, like, bullshit like that, hell no. Hell no. Unless they made every future break DPS a boot hill. I think this is the one time I might be able to make an exception. Stop making break DPSs purely break and make them hybrid so they can take advantage of Sunday and other general supports. It's going to be hard to power creep Sunday? Not really. It's pretty easy to power creep Sunday. Like, all you have to do, a character could literally offer the exact same thing Sunday does, but no bullshit with, like, the damage bonus being locked behind having a summon for a DPS. And bam. Like, that's already a better damage amp and shit. Or they could just add a part of Sunday's Lycone into their base kit and make them overall SP positive instead of neutral. Like, it's very easy to power creep characters in HSR. It truly is easy. Hoyo is the most bold when it comes to power creep when a new version hits. Always. They are the most bold when a new version hits. .3.2 made me sleepy. I don't even pay attention to story all that much, I'm not gonna lie. Might be a bit of a lore skipper. No character is immune to power creep? I agree. All you can do is, like, vertically invest into supports, newer ones, if you really like want an older DPS to, you know, go on forever. Like, this is why I say, by the way, even though Phanon's Eidolons look like godly, right? Like, his Eidolon investment is just the best in the game right now by a good amount. There's a good chance his Eidolon investment is just normal in version 4. Like, it is 100% likely it's just normal Eidolon investment for a DPS in version 4. I'm gonna get a Noxa on rerun because eye patch, man. I really like a Noxa. Like, even for Endgame, he's good, right? But truly, something very underrated about a Noxa, daily farming is so good. I don't think there's any character that is better to daily farm with than a Noxa. Because this guy, when you go into, like, the Calyx domains to farm like traces or whatever, he kills, then can ult. He kills again, skill, then kills again, skill, then ult, then kills again, and then it's just done, right? It's just done that quick. His ult recharge is so fast, it's so good for clearing out mobs. Imagine more niche characters in 4.x. I actually don't think that HSR is going in a niche route. Like, a lot of people see Ceridra, and all of a sudden people are losing their mind saying, oh my god, HSR has finally woken up. They're now going to start giving us niche comps. But no, because they literally just gave us Tribi. They also gave us Cypher, who is an incredibly general nihility. And they're giving us Cyrene, who will probably be a general true damage buffer that just doesn't work with Cassie and Phanon because of territory, right? Like, they probably release less niche supports than they do general ones still in the entirety of version 3. So I just think there's a little bit of downtime, right? They don't want to release literally only general supports, so you end up getting a Zhao Q, right? And I think that's what this situation is. You end up getting a Zhao Q. You maybe get a Fugue, although Fugue, at least she's for an entire archetype. But you sometimes get niche characters because you can't always only have general ones. Like, that's probably not flavorful enough for them. Also, we should be getting a Harmony in probably early version 4. It's actually pretty likely. And this could be a Sunday competitor. Like, I do think after Cyrene and like all that, we should get like a hyper carry buffer maybe for a Harmony. And I think this could be a Sunday competitor. Hmm. I can have two Sundays finally. I mean, it's not confirmed. I'm just theory crafting here. I think Tribby getting like Cyrene, like if Cyrene is going to be Tribby competition outside of territory teams, then I think there's going to be someone who needs to give Sunday competition. Because no one has given Sunday competition for an entire version, right? Like, you really got to think about it. The entirety of version 3, Sunday is still best in slot for more teams than probably not. Like, it's pretty disgusting. There's no way they don't take advantage of that and finally release a bit of an upgrade. RMC is better than Sunday. That is quite situational, my friend. I don't know who this Flynn's guy is, but he's got that shit on. He's just a guy from Genshin. Recent Nod Cry trailer. Yeah, I think RMC is only better, or like better than Sunday for like Cassie and like Hyper Carry Herda. I don't think RMC is overrated. He's really good, right? Like, don't get me wrong. But the problem with RMC is like he doesn't unlock his full true damage thingy unless he's with an ally that has 200 plus energy. And then both like Aggie and Herda already have best in slot teams like made to kind of circumvent this energy requirement. So even though RMC is incredibly strong for a free to play option, he's not really best in slot for most of these characters. Even Cassie could possibly be like just a temporary thing. I really wouldn't be surprised. Damn, Lulu, that's tough. RMC will probably go with March. Yeah, I think RMC's first best in slot team will probably be Hyper Carry March. Probably. He looks sick, yeah. I wish this guy was in HSR. I also wish Skirk was in HSR. Before anyone says Jing Liu, it ain't the same. Almost at 5K, yeah. Just wait for the Genshin Star Rail collab. If we get a Genshin Star Rail collab, I highly doubt Skirk would get in it. Especially since we already have Jingliu. It's the same reason we probably want to get like a ride in May. Because we already have Acheron. Nice, Kiwi. We don't have a Capitano in HSR. I mean, I feel like we may get one at some point, but yeah. I feel like I need Firefly E1 because having a break that can't play sucks. I mean, like, why though? Like, why would you put one cost into Firefly just to make her slightly more usable when you can just pull a new DPS? Like, I'm pretty sure a Noxa would probably just be a better investment than that E1 Firefly. Like in a Noxa rerun and run him with RMC and Ting Yun, I could see that clearing endgame content. A Noxa has incredible value for like free to plays. Probably the greatest of any Ampho DPS. He gets the least of a jump from Lycone. He has the most solid performance at E0. His vertical investment is trash, so he incentivizes support vertical investment. And he's universal in every single endgame. Although pure fiction, he is, you know, I'd say he is noticeably weaker in PF than Apoc and MOC. But he's still good for PF. I don't like the Herda free to play anymore. I really don't. Because if she doesn't get a favorable AoE situation, it doesn't feel the best with Herda. Like, you're really going to want Tribi and Anoxa for those types of things. What are your thoughts on Acheron in current meta? Benched. If I don't have Robin, what other supports? I just said RMC and Anoxa. Or sorry, RMC and Ting Yun. Take that back. uh, what path would Cyrene be in gameplay? Remembrance. Ting Yun still being somewhat reliable is kind of crazy to me. Yeah. I mean, Ting Yun's only really seeing use because of low cost Anoxa and Phanon runs. Though I have seen her used sometimes for Archer, but people usually just run Hanya instead. No, it's a reliable leak, Foss. Or however you pronounce that. I feel bad for new players who are stuck with this triple destruction banner. Yeah. It's actually insane. Like, you see the first half of 3.4, you got the two most valuable characters in the entirety of the game being Tribby and Sunday. You got Sparkle, who's best in slot for Archer, who's currently like the first or second strongest DPS in the game. You have Phanon, who's been like the MC of Ampho for like the last 4 or 5 patches. And then the next half, you get 25 pulls as a free to play, and it's Blade, Jingliu, and Firefly. Like, it's actually some insane whiplash. There's no point in even getting Blade. Can lose the 50-50 for him? Yeah. I already said it in a video I made a little bit ago. But yeah, you can just easily lose 50-50. I don't see any reason why you would actually like purposely pull. My friend is really excited about pulling E2FF and thinks it's going to be genuinely good. I mean, E2 Firefly. Okay. The problem with E2 Firefly, right? One, they keep increasing the fucking toughness, right? They keep fucking increasing it. So the value of E2 Firefly is just going down because keep in mind, you can only activate the extra turn when you break or when you kill. And on top of this, it has an every other turn cooldown. So it's it used to be stronger than it is currently. It is still strong, but it used to be stronger. Like if you're going for E2 Firefly, I really have to recommend E1 Fugue so you can get like the break efficiency increase as well alongside Ruan Mei. And now it's like a lot more doable. Right now you can eat through the toughness bar. It's more consistent. You don't have to go like multiple turns not breaking. But even then, even with that, there's still like a turn or two here and there where she just won't get a break off and she won't get that extra turn. Alright, guys, I did say it was a short stream, and it is a short stream. I love you all. I'm going to go do some stuff. Hope you have a great day. Hope you all have a great night. And